So today we have the introduction to Pakistan, its history, society, and politics. History, society, and politics. We have to understand our own country, that how it works, because it is a reality that how is Pakistan. Whether Pakistan is good or bad, but it is there, and today we have to understand it, that how this country works and what are its different dimensions. We will be discussing the three dimensions of Pakistan today: its history, society, and politics. So please make a comment that today I will understand the history, society, and politics of Pakistan. Today I will understand the history, society, and politics of Pakistan. So today I will understand the history, politics, and society and politics of Pakistan. Now this is just introduction, only introduction. You have to go into details yourself, because the history of Pakistan is very, very long, and the society of Pakistan is quite complicated, very complex, and the politics also has a lot of dimensions. That's why you have to do your own research and your own study, and you have to read your books, and you have to explore this group from top to bottom. ये जो ग्रुप है, इसमें पाकिस्तान के बारे में आपको सब कुछ मिलेगा, डिटेल में मिलेगा, वीडियो लेक्चर्स भी है, नोट्स भी है, सब कुछ है. तो वो आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा अपने हिसाब से. मैं आपको थोड़ा सा मुख्तसर जो है बताऊंगा कि भाई आपका माइंड बन जाए, कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी. बाद में फिर अपनी बुक्स भी पढ़ने हैं और नोट्स भी पढ़ने हैं. आज के नोट्स भी आपने पढ़ने हैं, हालांकि आज के नोट जो है वो इंट्रोडक्टरी है, कोई बहुत डिटेल्स में नहीं है. We start from the history. Now, at the Ziaul Haq time, Islam became very popular, the religion became very popular, and every history would start from Muhammad bin Qasim. When Muhammad bin Qasim in 711 AD, he attacked Sindh, occupied Sindh, and established the first Islamic Umayyad Caliphate. So usually we would start history from Muhammad bin Qasim. तो पाकिस्तान की जो हिस्ट्री है वो हमेशा मोहम्मद बिन कासिम से शुरू होती थी, और उसके बाद महमूद गजनवी, महमूद गौरी, कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक, शमसुद्दीन अल-तुतमश, गयासुद्दीन बलबन, and then we have Tughlaqs and Sayyids and what is the name, those Pashtun, Ibrahim Lodi and others, Lodis, and then Mughals, Suris, British, and 1947 Pakistan. But recently people have started interest in the pre-Islamic era of Pakistan. कि पाकिस्तान से पहले जो है इस्लाम जो है, इस्लाम से पहले पाकिस्तान ये लोग क्या थे, पत्थरों में रह रहे थे, गारों में रह रहे थे, या कुछ था या नहीं था. तो लोग जो है थोड़ा सा रिलीजियस के अलावा भी इस पाकिस्तान की हिस्ट्री को समझना चाहते हैं. आई वेंट टू मैनी प्रोग्राम्स ऑफ इजिप्ट के बहुत से प्रोग्रामों में मैं जाता हूँ. तो वहाँ अब सारे फिरौन के मुजस्समे लगे होते हैं, और फिरौन के जो है वो सारा सिविलाइजेशन के बातें उधर होती है. सो आई आस्क्ड दैट व्हाई फेरोआ, यू पीपल आर ग्लोरीफाइंग एंड रिस्पेक्टिंग सो मच फेरोआ. सो दे सेड दैट दिस इज आवर रियल हिस्ट्री, वी आर द सन्स ऑफ फेरोआ. These Arabs came and they just told us some other thing, But now we are discovering our roots, that where from we came. So this trend is everywhere. People want to go to the centuries old civilizations and that how we were there. Mehergarh is a place in Pakistan which is around 88,000 years old. 8,000 years. Islam is 1400 years old, but Mehergarh is 8,000 years old. So you can take pride of such an ancient civilization. Then we have Gandhara. Gandhara comes from Kandahar. Kandahar, western part of Pakistan. And very interestingly, the name India comes from Indus River. So basically, Pakistan is the real India. And there was a proposal to call it West India. Because of Indus civilization, it was such a Mohenjo-daro and all these things, very civilized and very advanced civilization. Harappa and all these things, Gandhara, and then Buddhism, Swat, Taxila, and Takhbai, and all these places. Buddhism was so much dominant in this part of the world. So that's why we have to go to the ancient roots of Pakistan. Pakistan did not come into being just in 1947 or after the arrival of Muhammad bin Qasim, but this land, this geography, it did exist and very prominent civilizations flourished here. We don't have a lot of civilizations on the other side of India. If you study, so Gupta and Maurya and all these people, they were basically ruling the western part. Because Punjab and East Punjab, West Punjab, this was agriculturally very rich. There was Indus River, and there were more attractions than the East India, because in the east part of India, there were a lot of floods and a lot of problems. So people, they were more focused on Delhi and the west of Delhi towards Afghanistan and Central Asia. And all the Central Asian people, when they came, like Babur and before Babur, even Alexander the Great and all these people, so they did not reach to the eastern parts of India. Maximum they reached to Lahore or sometime to Delhi. So this area has a very rich history, and we have to study that history and be proud of that. When Pakistan comes into being, so religion was the decisive factor, as a slogan, as a motivating factor, that why we should divide India into two parts, the current India and Pakistan. So one of the most important element was religion, and then culture and food habits and cow and the majority, the dominance of Hindus in a democracy. So Muslim, they wanted to have their own identity. But this identity was basically cultural, not so religious. Even Quaid-e-Azam also used religion and Islam to make it a reason for Pakistan, but he was not so much into a theocracy or a Shariat-based country, because when Pakistan came into being, he stopped people to call themselves with different identities. Only Pakistani identity was recommended. And also, though people migrated, but it was not the policy of Pakistan to tell every non-Muslim to leave the country, because this country was not only for Muslims. Otherwise, the Muslims of this part of the world could join Iran or Afghanistan if they wanted only Islamic State. And then, however, this was very important factor, the religious factor. Later on, when the world was more modernized, and after the Second World War, and there was more science and rationality and modernization of the world, so religion became something which was not so much attractive. But Pakistan is facing this identity crisis. If we leave religion, then why Pakistan? And if we continue with religion, So religion brings us a lot of problems. Sectarianism, extremism, terrorism, and people don't trust us that they are very religious people. And religious people are usually emotional, and they can kill anybody anytime. They can destroy any property of Westerns or non-Muslim properties. So people, they are not so confident to do business with the religious people because they can change anytime. They can do anything with you. So this is a dilemma of the Pakistan, and people are struggling with this dilemma whether Pakistan should be religious Islamic country or it should be secular country, liberal country, communist country, socialist country. So these questions are going on, and you have to discuss, debate, and read about these different dimensions. The another thing that we have, the society of Pakistan. So society of Pakistan is quite complex because there is yes, there is one religion, but if one religion was the problem, then why Bangladesh became separate from Pakistan? Because both Bangladesh and Pakistan, they are Muslims, so they could remain together if Islam was the factor. So there are many other dimensions like ethnicities. More than 50% they are Punjabis, and within Punjabis then you have Saraikis, and you have North Punjab and South Punjab and Potohar, and then you have Pashtuns. Again, Pashtuns are divided into Northern Pashtunkhwa and Southern Pashtunkhwa, and then you have Mahajir in Karachi, Sindhis and Mahajirs, and Baloch and Pashtuns, and even in KP, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, you have non-Pashtuns like Hindko speakers and Hazara and Gujars, and it is a mosaic, MOSAIC, mosaic. Mosaic means it's a mixture of so many identities, so many ethnicities, so many languages. So this is a very complex society. The solution is unity in diversity. Unity in diversity. There is diversity, but this diversity is the beauty of our society. We should accept others, we should tolerate others, and there should be multiculturalism, multilingualism, and multi-dimensional approach with the help of pluralism, pluralistic society. In pluralistic society, different people live and they don't disturb each other. They tolerate each other, they accept each other, because different people have different identities, different histories, different cultural backgrounds, different languages, different accents. So you have to adjust this thing, because all these people are not the sons and daughters of one mother and father. Even the son and daughter of one family, one mother and father, are also different. So we have to understand this difference and this variety, because variety is the spice of life. But these social fabric bring us a lot of problems, a lot of social problems, like sectarianism, terrorism, extremism, poverty, and illiteracy. A lot of social problems are there. And finally, our politics, that is also such a complicated scenario. In politics, we have the most important dimension, that is civil-military relations. How to combine these two together, because in Pakistan we have 3 decades of martial laws. Ayub Khan, Yahya, and then Ziaul Haq, and recently Musharraf. So martial laws, the rule of army. Then we also had pure democracy like Bhutto, but Bhutto was again assassinated, and he was a regime, military regime came. And then we had the experiment of hybrid regime, HYBRID, hybrid regime, when the Prime Minister and General Bajwa, they would sit together, and ISI chief, and they would decide things. So that was hybrid, both civilian and military. But Imran Khan PTI experience was also not a success. And again, there was so much problems politically. And you saw, you know that what happened. Shahbaz Sharif government came, and then now we are going towards the elections, most probably. So this is the history. Democracy has a lot of challenges. People, they are not democratic minded. If you don't have democracy in your family, if you don't have democracy in your village, how you can have democracy in the whole country? People, they believe in tribal system. They believe in biradaris, brotherhoods, and sects, and their schools of thought. They follow Molvis, mullahs, clergy, and it is such a complicated situation that nobody knows that where is the real democracy here. For real democracy, there should be modern education, critical thinking, objectivity, and the people, there should be critical thinkers in a sense to know that who is their leader and who is not their leader. Because the leaders, technically called demagogues, Demagogue, demagogues. So demagogues, they play with the emotions of people. They will sometimes tell them, I will establish a Medina state and I will bring 100,000 employment opportunities, and I will construct 50,000 houses, and I will do this and I will do that, and in United Nations, and I made a great speech, and I was sitting with Trump, so my one leg was on the other leg, and I was wearing shalwar kameez, and I was taking pride in it. So people become happy with such slogans. And the same slogans were done by military rulers and other people as well. Bhutto was a real democratic personality, but he had two problems. One was his socialism, his nationalization. He nationalized all the industries and all the private properties, and that was the end of Pakistan. Uh, because of Afghanistan, we got some money, and Pakistan survived. Otherwise, Bhutto would have killed Pakistan. He was himself killed, but because of socialism and his communistic ideas, this was he gave a huge damage to Pakistan. And also we have the Bangladesh time, 1971, when Bhutto did not accept the majority of Bangladesh, and some people blame military, some people blame civilian politicians, but the Dhaka tragedy, the debacle of Dhaka, debacle, Debacle, the fall of Dhaka is also one of the very darkest chapter of our history. So these are Ziaul Haq. Then he introduced Islamism, extremism, terrorism, Kalashnikov, and drugs from Afghanistan, and he made society so much radicalized that today Pakistan is suffering from that. Personally, I liked the approach of Musharraf, who said enlightened moderation, and first Pakistan. So he was more nationalistic and he was more development oriented personality. But his problem was that he was a military general and then he wanted to become a politician. This is again a big problem with civil military relations, that you come, you take power, you send a civilian to their home, and then you yourself try to become a politician, another politician. So if you are a dictator, come, take control and streamline everything, and then you may do elections and you just step down. But if you remove other politicians, why you yourself become another politician? So this is another paradox of Pakistan. So we have a lot of these interesting topics. In today's notes, you have some interesting points. Read those notes again and again. Read your Pakistan Affairs book and start reading it. This course that we have, it is both current affairs and Pakistan affairs. Because in current affairs, you have socio-economic and political problems. 20 marks question come from socio-economic and political problems of Pakistan. And in Pakistan affairs also, again, you have the same topics. So this is combined. Mostly current affairs and Pakistan affairs, you can prepare it together. There is no so much difference in the courses. And the same too, current affairs and Pakistan affairs, you can use for essay writing as well. So you are preparing 300 marks, basically. And also the same you can use in other papers like Indo-Pak history and international relations and political science also. They also deal with the same topics. So if you understand Pakistan, you understand many things and how to describe Pakistan academically, not emotionally. That is one of the important dimension. So this was introduction. Please read the notes, and if you have any question, so go ahead. Read the notes and then make short presentations in SAFE 2 and tag me. When you read the notes in the morning and you attend the lecture and some questions come to your mind, so prepare those questions in advance. So when I come to class, you ask me the questions. Enlightened moderation. 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 Enlightened moderation was policy of General Musharraf. Yes, jostling between civilian and military regimes. Now, these days there is some stability in democracy because military is not attacking Islamabad and not taking the power in their hands. They also understood that for the betterment of Pakistan, there should be civilian rule. Though Pakistan is another dilemma. Pakistan is that it is a security state. We have a very, very bad geostrategic position. Our position on the map is very, very complicated. We have Afghanistan, we have India, both are enemy states, and then we have Iran. Iran has problems with the world, China has problems with the world, and we are in the center. So our security is must. And that's why our military and agencies, they are important for the stability and security and the existence of Pakistan. We can't make it like no military. Without military, this country cannot run because our situation is like that. Democracy is appropriate because there is no other alternative. We saw dictatorships also, we saw military regimes also, but there were no results. So democracy has its own problems, but the worst democracy is better than dictatorship. No, there is no theocratic approach because nobody is in favor of theocracy. Theo, Theo, Theo means God. Cracy means government. The government of God or the government of clergy or the government of religious people. Nobody is in the favor. So theocracy is not the option. Whether it is secular or religious, that is the question. So the Constitution of Pakistan says that there should be no law with in contradiction to or opposing to Islamic principles, Quran and Hadith and Sunnah. So this is there in the Constitution. So that part is okay. And rest, fundamental rights, human rights, democracy, modern education, judiciary, these are all modern things in Pakistan. So this is not a huge debate. Your approach in the examination should be as per the Pakistan Affairs books. जो पाकिस्तान स्टडी में आपको बताया जाता है उसी तरह आपने लिखना है. कोई बहुत ज़्यादा मुजाहिद बनने का या इनकलाबी बनने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. Yes. Zar Afshan, please start sentence with the capital letter. Grammar is must. I will not compromise on grammar. क्योंकि ग्रामर आपका गलत है तो एग्जामिनर आपको मार्क्स नहीं देता, कहीं भी नहीं देता. So we start sentence with a capital letter. VW capital. Dictatorship, yes, you can. You can discuss military rule also. There is no problem. But you cannot target directly the institution. That army is the enemy of Pakistan or ISI is the enemy of Pakistan. No. That is not possible. That you cannot do. You can critically examine, there is no problem, with arguments in the favor of Pakistan, in the favor of democracy, yes. So you have to be diplomatic, you have to be politically correct. अब वो जो सियासी मारे लगाते हैं मंजूर पश्तून टाइप या जो है ये अल्ताफ हुसैन टाइप, तो उस तरह आप नहीं कर सकते कि ये जो वर्दी है इसकी दहशतगर्दी है, इसकी पीछे वर्दी है, इस तरह के इनकलाबी नारे आप नहीं लगा सकते. दैट इज नॉट अलाउड. यू कैन नॉट चैलेंज स्टेट. आप स्टेट को चैलेंज नहीं कर सकते इन राइटिंग, स्पीकिंग और एनीवेयर. अब ये भी नहीं कह सकते पाकिस्तान क्यों बना. हम इंडिया के साथ होते तो आज कतरीना कैफ के बाहों में होते, मुंबई में हम जो है चक्कर लगाते. तो ये भी आप नहीं कर सकते कि पाकिस्तान कैसे बना. स्टेट को आप चैलेंज नहीं कर सकते. दैट इज नॉट. पाकिस्तान इज नाउ अ रियलिटी. इट डज एग्जिस्ट, whether good or bad, but it is there. Whatever is the history, but it is there. Now we are the citizens of this state and we have to take care of it. And this is intelligent approach, and that is scholarly approach. दिल में आपका जो भी है, लेकिन आप पेपर में नहीं लिख सकते. You cannot write against the state or against the institutions of the state. Yes, in relative, not absolute terms. No sweeping statements. No hasty generalizations. ठीक है जी, पाकिस्तान इज द वर्स्ट कंट्री ऑन द प्लेनेट एंड गो टू हेल, इस तरह की चीजें नहीं. यू हैव टू गिव आर्गुमेंट्स. अपने आर्गुमेंट्स देने हैं, अपने पॉइंट को आपने प्रूव करना है. दिस इज योर बेसिक पॉइंट. सो वी विल कंटिन्यू these discussions. This was module 1 today, and then tomorrow we will be doing module 2, and this way we will continue the 4 modules. And already in this group you have very good notes also on ideology and problems and discussions. So dedicate 2-3 days only to this one group and explore it from top to bottom. बात ही वही है, बार बार आप वही चीजें नजर आएंगी, लेकिन आपका माइंड जो है वो थोड़ा सा क्लियर हो जाएगा. बेसिकली यही बातें आपने लिखनी है पेपर में. सो वो जो 10 पैराग्राफ आपने हर क्वेश्चन का जवाब लिखना है, दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टास्क. ऑल द बेस्ट. गुड नाइट.